Welcome to 360-degree machinery. We're going to do a walkthrough of a 2001 Holz-Her 1230 automatic vertical panel saw. This is a clearance item. You will find this machine with different pictures on several websites. And like I said, those descriptions will say it's a great panel saw, and well, we're going to give you the good and bad and the ugly on this machine in just a second. This came to us from a customer. He bought it on auction. It was rigged improperly, in our opinion. We're not surprised. This happens often, especially on items like this. He ran out of room and he brought it here. So it is on our premises, just like actually all of our machines. We do not broker machines. This machine does have an 82-inch high capacity, 208-inch width capacity, 3 1/8 inch depth of cut, 7.5 horsepower motor. It's an automatic version. And guess what? It does have some issues, but it does have some strong points, and this machine is priced accordingly. I mean, it's dirt cheap. I mean, there's very few parts you can buy on this machine for the price that we're selling this machine, and this is basically a $50,000 panel saw. It's kind of a shame. But first of all, one of the first things we do when we go through a machine is we open the control panel and say, hey, who has been here before us? And you know what? It is really nice and clean in here. I mean, really. We don't see wires hanging. It looks complete. Looks clean too. I mean, it's a little dusty, but you know, that's what we expect. We just don't see that, you know, everything's been replaced or torn apart or there's expensive missing components, especially the PLC is here, which is really important. Another thing that we did notice that is really good about the saw, the control panel. Controls are pretty clean. Again, for a 2001, we don't see the wear through on the numbers. It's not all faded. It's not cracked. We are missing 2 button covers, but it's pretty minor. We did notice that you do have a cracked hood. This covers up the motor, and there is a crack back here. Why someone threw it on its back, I don't know, but they did. There was a repair here at one time on basically the blade shroud. Someone brazed it, looked like it cracked again. They wired it together. Here you do have a missing air gauge. If we come around to the side, this is where we see a little bit more of the expensive damage to this machine. First of all, I do want to note that this is an automatic model, but you could possibly use it as a manual model. And if you use it as a manual model, we really don't think that you have to buy that much or do that much work to get this machine operational. If you're going to use it as an automatic model, obviously on both axes, basically you have an X and a Y axis that travel, and they have motors. And as you can see, this one does have its nice little motor. If we come to this side, we have hanging brushes. At some point, someone hit this end of the machine on the skid on its side, and they broke this motor off. Obviously, as you can tell, the drivetrain's here. It still turns freely. The gearbox is still here. The motor is gone. Just to let you know, so that motor is not here. Secondly, someone broke all the counterweights. Again, someone hit this side, and obviously they hit and they snapped the cables. This isn't the biggest a deal. It's more of a pain labor-wise, but I mean, cost-wise, you're looking at $15, $20 worth of parts. They're just cables. It should not be the worst job. If we look at this grid, we're going to notice that there are some slats missing. You can either rearrange some of the ones into the areas that you want, or we did notice that the others are pretty much all here. Not sure if they're 100% here, because again, we haven't gone through it. We did notice that there are some new parts. There's some new hangers and some other new parts back here in the box. There's a roller, fence componentry. So there are some spare parts here. We believe with a little bit of work, this will be a decent machine. It does have the anti-kickback grid, and as you can see, I am shifting that with my hand, and it is shifting really nice and easily. I mean, honestly, this is doing it with my left hand too, and I'm right-handed, so that's good to see. You do have your small part shelf. That is missing a couple of the fingers on the small part shelf. We'll walk around front. A couple of those fingers, again, are missing. One thing that's really critical is that this saw has not been laid on its back. I hate this. I see this several times a year where people take these and they want to transport them. They're a pain in the butt to transport. They lay them on their back. Here's the problem. All of your frame members vertically support this panel. Everything's vertical, and it supports your basically main piece of steel that's machined down at the top that gives you precision on these saws. The problem is, as soon as you lean this back, it just weeps. And basically this top piece of steel weeps. This steel is nice and straight up top. So that is the good news. We also do have your rigging rings attached to it so we can lift it overhead. This machine has been in storage for about 1.5 years. Again, you can use it as a manual saw and basically do the limited amount of work and have a great saw at a really cheap price with just a little bit of labor. Call Holz-Her or try and find that motor. Since you already have one, you can probably find the other one maybe on the surplus market. Maybe you can get a good deal on it, and for a little bit of money and work, it may be a fully functioning automatic model with a little bit of work. I don't know. Due to the fact that obviously we have not run this machine, we do know that it is in front of us. If you want to come out and see it and take a look at it and do a visual assessment yourself, please feel free to do so. You can contact us at info@360degreemachinery.com or give us a call at 630-229-6705. And remember, we do these videos to help you buy with confidence with every machine that you buy. Thank you for tuning in.